So the disciples came to Jesus and asked him, "How many times should we forgive someone who sins against us? Should we forgive them once, twice, 3 times, maybe up to 7 times?" And Jesus heard this and said, "Who among you that has a friend will lend them money if they ask for it?" And the disciples said, "Well, obviously, who wouldn't?" So Jesus said to them, "You're wrong. You're not giving because you're not a friend. You're only giving because you hope to get something back, maybe a little bit more." And then he told them this parable. A long time ago, he said, a king decided to settle accounts with all of his servants. Now one of his servants had borrowed a huge amount, like 10,000 talents. That's a lot of money, and he couldn't pay it back. So the king cancelled the debt. He forgave him. Now that same servant had a fellow servant who owed him a much smaller amount, just 100 denarii, about 2 months' wages. But he refused to forgive him that small debt. Well, when the king heard about this, he became very angry. He called both of the servants into his court. He said to the first one, "Didn't I forgive you a huge debt? Yet you're so heartless. You won't forgive your fellow servant his small debt." Then the king took away everything he had, gave it to the other servant, and had the ungrateful one thrown into prison until he paid back what he owed. When the other servants saw what happened, they were terrified. They fell down before the king and asked for forgiveness. He had them put in prison also. And the Bible says that he wanted to be merciful, but there was no one to have mercy on. There was no one to show compassion on. Now, friends, God is rich in mercy. He is slow to get angry and very kind. He forgives us our great debt, our sin, through the death of his Son on the cross. But notice the warning here. If we refuse to forgive others their debts, their sins, their trespasses against us, then God will hold us accountable on the day of judgment. We won't lose our salvation, but we will suffer the consequences of our unforgiveness, and that will cause us to suffer greatly. Oh no, we cannot afford to hold grudges or to refuse to forgive those who have wronged us. When we refuse to forgive, we are actually hurting ourselves. We're not hurting the person we're angry at. Forgiving doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. The Bible says it's not easy, but we must forgive because we have been forgiven. And if we will do that, we can enter into the kingdom of God.